Hello guys, today I'm actually very happy because I can finally make this video, which I've been thinking for quite some time now. Before we begin, keep in mind that this is an overkill PC, but within reason, which means that you would need some serious pockets to build it. But enough with all this, let's start the nerd fest. First off, we're gonna start with the beautiful beast that's gonna house our powerhouse. And it's the Corsair Graphite Series 760T full tower case. And a big plus, except that it's full tower and everything will fit nicely, its side panel is just a big piece of plexiglass, which means that you can show off your beast of a system. Next, we've got our motherboard, which is none other than the Asus Rampage 4 Black Edition. You see where I'm going? It's a full ATX board with an Intel 2011 socket and an Intel X79 chipset and supports up to 64 GB of RAM. And we finally come to the big fact. It has 4 PCI Express 16X slots. The only thing you might consider to be a downside is that it has only 2 SATA 3 ports, but then again you only need those for SSDs, right? Next we've got this absolute beast of a processor, and it's the Intel Core i7-4960X Extreme Edition with 6 cores, 12 threads, and an incredible 3.6 GHz core clock, which can even go up to 4 GHz. Phew, I mean, what can you say about this beast? But we're also gonna have to cool down this beast, and that's where the Corsair H100i comes into play. It's one of the best solutions if you don't want to go custom water cooling. And of course, what would an overkill system be without its 64 GB of DDR3 memory? That's why I've selected 8 GB 1600 MHz G.Skill Rich.Skill Z goodness. And finally, we've come to the part which I know you've been waiting for. I know I have. GPU-wise, I chose 2 EVGA GeForce GTX 780 Ti's classified Kingpin Edition in SLI configuration, of course, with their 3 GB of GDDR5 super fast memory clocked at 7000 MHz, with a base core clock of 1072 MHz and a boost clock of 1132 MHz. These things combined have 5760 CUDA cores. That's the same as Titan Z, for Christ's sake. And all that's without considering these things' overclocking abilities. These things have no limits when it comes to overclocking. Oh, and one last thing. How do you keep all these beasts fed? With a Corsair AX1200i, of course. Because if all these beasts get hungry, you can find yourself in all kinds of life-threatening situations. You know, like blue screens, computer shutdowns, and all this bad stuff. And last but not least, storage. I decided to go with 2 Western Digital WD-40 EFRX 4TB RAID drives, giving you a total of 8 TB for general storage. And of course, you should be waiting for it, an SSD, what surprise! But not any old SSD, a Samsung 840 EVO series 1 TB SSD for the OS and any game you can think of. And actually the last thing for this build is the OS. I know it comes down to personal preference, but I went on and included one just so that the build would be complete. It's Windows 8.1 64-bit. You can always just change it, or if you happen to hate this version like me, just pretend you didn't hear it at all. So guys, that's it for this video. Like it if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, and feel free to leave a comment telling me if you would change something from this list, if I did something wrong, or if you hate Windows 8 like me. Then again, you might love them, but I know there's gonna be very few of you. Oh, and also feel free to hit the subscribe button as hard as you can, showing me your support and letting me know if you want to see more of this. Bye!